And we say good morning to you. Welcome aboard. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend, and we're ready to rock and roll. We got lots going on today, of course, on our, the September 5th, our show number 200. I'm sorry, not 200, but show number 500, and boom, 86 again on this Tuesday, September the 5th, 2017. And again, we're live at Cherokee Barbershop, home, of course, of the free haircut. Haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep a cup. Haven't been down here for a while, so the Gator Man's in the house. We are loaded for bear. We got Mike Hendricks going to join us from Northern Virginia a little bit later on to the show to tell us all about what's happening with NASCAR, because this coming Saturday is it to qualify the chase for the championship. Got some guys on the outside looking in. We'll tell you all about that with the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series. NFL football cranks up on Thursday night to get it started. The defending Super Bowl champ New England hosting Kansas City. We got some NFL news, including Ezekiel Elliott's at it again. Guy's a piece of work, I'll tell you. And then also you have coming up a little bit later on Daniel Monjay, Sports Information Director for Milligan College, and also Chris Lane, the cross-country coach of Milligan, is going to stop by here. Cherokee Barbershop full of Milligan and East Tennessee State good stuff here too. You come in here and there's all kinds of Milligan, all kinds of East Tennessee State memorabilia up here on the wall. So located again in South Johnson City, Executive Park South, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm. And they're open 6 days a week, 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday, and Sunday and Monday. The Gator Man is crashed, so he is recuperating from a busy week. We're going to have him on here coming up here in just a few minutes. Always start our show. We dedicate to the man who hung on the cross. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend, by the way. I'm back in the saddle. Again, Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit your works to me, and your thoughts will be established." Commit your works to me, dedicate your life to me, and your thoughts will be established. So this is all about glorifying Him. That's what this show's all about. It's all we try to do. But as a matter of fact, this coming Monday, we're going to be live at the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Golf Tournament at the Johnson City Country Club. We're going to be there broadcasting live a week from yesterday. And so you're talking about giving Him proper due. It's all about FCA and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So we'll be at the Country Club coming up on Monday for that show. Tomorrow, Chick-fil-A, Crossings, North Johnson City. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. And on Friday, we'll be live at Food City on Clinchfield Street in downtown Kingsport. And the picking panel. We got our very first winner. Pretty exciting stuff. We're going to try and make contact with him a little bit later on in the show here. A pretty cool guy. Went 9 for 10 of the picking panel. The only game he missed was the Hampton Happy Valley game. He took Hampton. Of course, Happy Valley won big, but everything else he picked out of the 10 picks, he was 9 for 10. He's our first winner of $25, and so we'll tell you that is coming up here a little bit later on the show. Quick break, we'll come right back. It was a case, in my humble opinion, Tennessee didn't win the game. Georgia Tech lost the game. And we'll tell you why. It's Tom, Tennessee won. Well, okay, they did, and I'll give them the props. But the way they won and I'm just going to tell you, you don't need me to tell you this if you're a Tennessee fan, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You give up that kind of rushing, that kind of offense to Georgia Tech. Now, when Georgia comes to town and South Carolina comes to town and you go to Alabama and you go up to Kentucky, I mean, there's a pretty tough schedule ahead, of course, for the Volunteers. This week's going to be checkbook game against Indiana State. But looking ahead, you go back to Missouri game last year, the Vanderbilt game last year, and now Georgia Tech this year. They apparently have not solved the defensive woes on the football team that's paying a guy $1.2 million a year to get it done, which would be Bob Stoops. So anyway, you're going to say, if you're a Tennessee fan, we won. A win's a win, 42-41. Okay, it is. It is a win. And, hey, I got no dog in the hunt. I'm a Marshall guy. We beat Miami of Ohio. We may get our ears pinned back this weekend at North Carolina State, but I'm a herd man. But again, if you step back and look at it logically, and as a football fan, and just as an analyst, I should say, you would have to say there's, I don't know if there's problems, but there's certainly question marks that need to be resolved pretty quickly. Indiana State shouldn't be a problem this week. Then you go to the Swamp, and you say, well, they got beat by Michigan. Yeah, well, that's not exactly a cream puff. So, and Florida, obviously without 10 guys, you're going to say, well, that's the way it is. It is. That's the way it is. Consequences for your choices, but lots of variables. So anyway, Tennessee wins last night, 42-41 in double OT. And so we'll talk about that a little bit later on, and so we'll actually talk about it after this break. So we're going to jump in, take our first break, come right back, and we'll take a look at college football. Got some other stories as well. We're live again at Cherokee Barbershop in South Johnson City, one of the original. In fact, I'm proud to tell you, every sponsor has been original. Every sponsor we've ever had on this show has been with us and stayed with us, and this guy's been with me since day one, and this is number 586 on the old show count. I'll be our buddy here, the Gator Man from Cherokee Barbershop. And behind us, you see these videos. One of the cool things about the videos is these are videos that he'll let you borrow and watch and bring back. The guitar up behind me, from time to time, folks come in here and take that guitar off the wall and pick and sing a little bit. So it's not your typical, at least in my humble opinion, not your typical barbershop. Pretty cool place, and it's a pretty cool guy that runs it too. I think the world of the old boy, and he's full of as a Christmas turkey, but that's why we get along. We like each other, and don't we? No comment. Okay. Grip Energy Drink. Look right here, getting ready to pop this bad boy and enjoy me a little Grip Energy Drink. Again, buy one, get one free right now is what's going on at all Food Cities. And so Grip Energy Drink is what you want to get at Food City. Quick break. We'll come back, take a look at college football. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop again on this Tuesday on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Summer Drive to unbelievable savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. With a selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from, don't miss out on the Chevy Summer Drive sale. 17 Silverado Crew Cab 1LT, $11,000 off MSRP. 17 Equinox Traction Traverse, $5,000 off MSRP. 17 Cruisin' Sonic, 25% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live at Cherokee Barbershop again on this Tuesday. Thanks for being with us. Let's run down some college football notes. First off, Alabama outside linebackers Christian Miller and Terrell Lewis suffered season-ending injuries against Florida State. Of course, you know by now the Florida State quarterback gone for the year as well, which is a tough break. whether you like these teams or not, these kids that, and I say young men, kids worked all off season, all the camps and going 2 days, and in the first ball game they blow out a knee or blow out a whatever, and they're gone for the year. Miller, a fourth-year junior, sustained a torn bicep. Lewis, a sophomore for Alabama, sustained an elbow injury. Both will need surgery. Both are gone for the year. And so the Crimson Tide will be opening up the home schedule against Fresno State on Saturday. And so Alabama turns to a couple of guys, Jamie Mosley, Keith Holcomb. Those are juniors. Sophomore Mike Wilson and true freshman Dylan Moses, a 5-star recruit for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So it's a tough break. And again, of course, as we told you, the quarterback gone for the Seminoles, Florida State. And so they'll start a true freshman coming up again on Saturday at Notre Dame, which is not an easy place to go to. And so they'll start a true freshman. Also, quarterback Jacob Eason will not play in the number 15 Georgia's game at Notre Dame after spraining his left knee in last week's win over Appalachian State. So the starting quarterbacks, we said, for Georgia not starting, and they will start again instead. True freshman Jake Fromm expected to start on Saturday against Notre Dame after replacing Eason in a 31-10 win over Appalachian State. So again, he's gone for the time being. Eason, Francois, is out for the year for the Seminoles of Florida State. Also, on a sad note, in college football, you have Alabama's football team. Their wide receivers coach, his son, Mike Loxley, was shot and killed in Maryland. 25-year-old Loxley was shot in Columbia, Maryland, just after 10 o'clock on Sunday. Died at the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center. Police did not release further details. Mike Loxley is also Alabama's co-offensive coordinator. So tough news there, sad news for that particular family, obviously, in the Alabama sporting family. All right, Tennessee football last night. Here's how it rolls. You give up 655 yards of total offense God, against Georgia Tech. Lawsy mercy. Georgia Tech, now here are the facts. Yes, Tennessee won the game 42-41, but there are definite question marks about this football team. Oh, by the way, the Hokies defeated West Virginia over the weekend, too. Go Hokies. Georgia Tech outgained Tennessee by nearly 300 yards. They ran 37 more plays from scrimmage. They had 15 more first downs and possessed the football more than 23 more minutes than Tennessee. So, again, Tennessee didn't win that game. Based on that right there, Georgia Tech lost the game. So, look at it any way you want to, but Georgia Tech outgained Tennessee by nearly 300 yards. Again, I'm not a Tennessee guy. I'm a college football guy. I'm a Marshall guy. I'm Virginia Tech. I like the Hokies a lot. Tennessee, they outgained them by nearly 300 yards. They ran 37 more plays from scrimmage than Tennessee. They had 15 more first downs. They dominated everywhere but the one that counts on the scoreboard, losing 42-41 in double OT. They possessed the football for 23 more minutes than Tennessee. God, 23 more minutes. I had the ball longer than you did, and I still lose the game. Anyway, the Vols actually rallied twice from a 2-touchdown deficit. I was traveling last night. I saw it was 21-7 Tennessee, and I thought, well, they got this in the bag. And then I lost cell phone where I was coming in from, and then got home and flipped it on. It's like 42-41. I was, you kidding me? So Tennessee had them up by 14 at one point. The Vols actually rallied twice from 2-touchdown deficits. So anyway, I know people are going to say, well, they won. A win's a win's a win. It is. It was ugly, but you've got to look at these numbers again. Georgia Tech outgained Tennessee by nearly 300 yards. I guess what jumps out at me is time of possession. They had the ball 23 more minutes than Tennessee, and obviously didn't do anything with it. Well, I guess they did. They were down one time 21-7, so they obviously put some points on the board. So you give up 41 points to Georgia Tech, not slamming the Yellow Jackets, but it's not exactly Georgia, or it's not exactly Florida, or they're not exactly Alabama. So again, there are question marks in the camp, no question. So, but a good night for John Kelly, good night for Quentin Dormady, Marquez Callaway, a good night for him. So Tennessee fans are happy, 42-41 winners, double overtime over Georgia Tech. They go back home for a cream puff checkbook game this Saturday. They're going to write a check to Indiana State, whip up on the Sycamores, and send them back to Indiana. And of course, let's see, Georgia Tech, have no clue they're playing. We're going to run down the SEC schedule coming up here in just a second, see where everybody's going for week number 2 of the college football. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop where my man Gator's got a man in the seat. What's this gentleman's name, Gator? Chad? Chad's in the seat, getting his ears lowered for free. Again, haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep the cup. Here's your SEC schedule this week. Alabama back home opener against Fresno State and Tuscaloosa. Arkansas takes on Texas Christian in Fayetteville. Here's a heck of a football game here coming up on Saturday. Auburn at Clemson. Whoo, that's going to be a bonbunna. The Gators back home for a checkbook game against Northern Colorado. Georgia, without their starting quarterback, Easton's out. They'll start a true freshman. They'll be at Notre Dame and South Bend. Kentucky takes on Eastern Kentucky in Lexington. That should be a checkbook game for the Wildcats. LSU hosting Chattanooga and Baton Rouge. Ole Miss with UT Martin on their schedule, being played in Oxford. Mississippi State, Louisiana Tech. Again, that'll be played at Louisiana Tech. Missouri, South Carolina, SEC Conference opener in Columbia. Tennessee, of course, Indiana State, checkbook game in Knoxville. Texas A&M, the Aggies at Nichols. Got a story about how one of the Board of Regents, I got that here in just a second, he says, fire the guy today. This is the Board of Regents member for Texas A&M. They got beat, 45-44. Comeback, big-time comeback for UCLA to beat Texas A&M. One of the Board of Regents came out and said he's an attorney down in College Station, said, I don't care what anybody says. I'm coming out right now and saying, fire Kevin Sumlin today. Whew. It's what did you do for me yesterday? Nichols will take on Texas A&M at College Station, and Vanderbilt should be a checkbook game. They're hosting Alabama A&M in Nashville. So that's what's going on this week in the Southeastern Conference. The polls will come out a little bit later on today. Obviously, you would have to think it'll be a 1-2 Alabama and Ohio State, I would think. Ohio State defeating Indiana 49-21. Of course, the Crimson Tide doing what they did against the Seminoles of Florida State. So we'll see how that in fact goes, but you would think that that's going to be the way it shakes out for the 1 and 2. Of course, we'll run down the entire top 25 when it comes out tomorrow. We'll be live at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. All right, I was trying to find the story I had about my man. This guy comes out. He is the Board of Regents from Texas A&M and said, oh, here it is, right here where it should have been. Check this out. Anthony Busby says, quote, I'm sure that I may be criticized for this post, but I honestly don't care. I've been on the Board of Regents, the Texas A&M, for more than 7 years. During that time, I've not once commented on Kevin Sumlin, his performance, but I've never said a word. When he and his agent manipulated a much bigger and longer contract, remember Kevin Sumlin's bio, they fire this guy, he gets $10 million. So say what you want, but if you get paid $10 million to do a poor job, that ain't too bad. Gator, if I fire you tomorrow, I'm going to pay you $10 million. You don't care. There you go. So unbelievable. So anyway, this guy goes on and says, look, Kevin Sumlin was outcoached again tonight against UCLA, which isn't new. He recruits well but can't coach the big games. I don't care what anybody says. I have only one vote. I say get rid of him now. So there you go. That is Anthony Busby, who is a member of the Board of Regents. There are 9 Board of Regents at A&M plus the student regent, and so we'll see how that goes for him. But again, UCLA practiced a fake spike last week, never imagining that it would cap off the biggest comeback in school history. A 34-point deficit, no less. Texas A&M was up by 34 points. Did you know that, Gator? I didn't know that. Texas A&M was up 34 points and lost. No wonder this guy's upset. 34-point deficit UCLA to beat him 45-44 on Saturday night, and Sunday night, guy says fire him. So that's pretty incredible, really. That's a lot of points to blow and melt down. So Kevin Sumlin very much on the hot seat right now at Texas A&M, and apparently for that kind of performance, I don't know if it should be fired, but I would think you'd have to sit down and take a long look at blowing a 34-point lead when you're up that big anywhere on the road or at home. You got to put your boot on the throat and finish it out. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at the National Football League. Ezekiel Elliott. Whoo! Also, Le'Veon Bell. Guess what? He's come back ready to play football. How about that? First week, regular season, missed all the preseason. Now he shows up for camp. Now he shows up ready to go for the Steelers. We'll talk about that. NFL news next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at Cherokee Barbershop.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We're live here today at Cherokee Barbershop, one of our original sponsors. Tomorrow will be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday, Champion Chevrolet. Friday will be at Food City in Kingsport. And then coming up on Monday, pretty cool, going to be the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Golf Tournament at the Johnson City Country Club. How about it? NFL news. My boy Ezekiel Elliott, under sworn oath, under testimony, said, "Oh, yeah, I did drugs at Ohio State. Yeah, I like to get drunk. I'm not making this up." Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott admitted that he did drugs while at Ohio State. We're talking cocaine, and that he still likes to party and get drunk. When asked by an NFL attorney this week during his appeals hearing, Elliott affirmed he does like to party and did drugs in college. Tiffany Thompson, Elliott's former girlfriend who accused him of physically abusing her, told the NFL investigator he used cocaine and marijuana 2 or 3 months before the Cowboys picked him in the 2016 NFL Draft. What a role model for boys, huh? Roberts, however, reportedly did not believe Thompson was a credible witness. Why would she not be? She was there with him. She said she did drugs too, including Molly, whatever that is, Xanax, and other prescription medications. So, Ezekiel Elliott, piece of work. The legal battle surrounding him is heating up, even though an appeals hearing for his 6-game suspension has not reached a conclusion. NFL Players Association said they will sue the NFL if they don't let him go back to work. What they want is to put this on hold, like they did Tom Brady in the Deflategate, so he can play. Cowboys want him, they need him, they said, and so stay tuned for that, because he has sued the NFL Players Association, the union. So you can get in the NFL, it's not always cut and dried because of the Players Union, so They have said we're going to sue the National Football League to get him back on the field in time for the Cowboys' season opener this week against the New York Giants. All right, my football team, the Raiders, who did not win a game in preseason. Sebastian Janikowski, the kicker, longtime kicker for the Raiders, says he will not take a pay cut. Raiders said, yeah, you got to take a pay cut. I said, nope, not going to take a pay cut. So the contract standoff has to be resolved by 4 o'clock today. But Janikowski will be guaranteed at 4 o'clock today, Gator. I will guarantee you at 4 o'clock, $238,000, what this guy gets at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So Janikowski, what? Gator is on a roll today, kids. So he's been with the team since 2000. He's played 268 games, tied with Lou Groza for the most in NFL history. So Sebastian Janikowski, we'll see if he's going to be a kicker for the Oakland Raiders. All right, Le'Veon Bell, told you this was going to happen a couple of weeks ago. He's going to sit out all preseason and show up ready to go, and he did. Le'Veon Bell for the Pittsburgh Steelers says he thinks he can play 16 games for $12 million. God bless him. I don't know how he's going to do it. I guess for $12 million for 16 games, I guess he can go to Food City and get him some Pop-Tarts and Beanie Weenies. I just don't know how he's going to make it. Unbelievable. The terms of his tag will pay him $12 million in guaranteed money this season. Said it's unfair. Are you kidding me? It's unfair. Making him the highest paid running back in the league by several $1 million. He said he wants more money for his financial future. The guy's making what? $12 million into 16 games, not quite $1 million a game. God. And he can't. See, I've reached a point in the National Football League where I'm just really disenchanted with the whole kit and caboodle. Oh, by the way, Roger Goodell has said for the national anthem, one of the options they're considering is keeping the football teams in the locker room before the games. They don't have to go out and do whatever they want to do. I'm sorry, Roger, buddy, that ain't the answer. Make them go out there and stand like they're supposed to and salute the greatest country in the world's flag. And as I've said many times up at Bristol Motor Speedway a couple of weeks ago, oh, by the way, every NASCAR driver had his hat off, his hand over his heart. So we don't kneel in NASCAR. So anyway, just want to throw that in there for you. So anyway, Roger Goodell has said in all seriousness, starting the NFL opening games, the regular season this weekend, we made us keep the football players in the locker room so none of them can protest or do anything. That way we minimize the distraction of the game. That to me is gutless, but that's just me. All right, South Florida residents, with an eye to the sky, you've got the opening game of the Dolphins and the Buccaneers coming up this weekend. It is now a Category 5 hurricane. It is very, very serious. Category 5 was what I went through in Hurricane Hugo back in '90 in Charleston, South Carolina, so I can tell you from experience it was a 4 or 5. I think it was finally a 5 when it hit landfall, but it's serious stuff. And so what it's looking like it's going to do now is go around the Florida panhandle, or go around the tip of Florida, and curve up into Alabama and Mississippi. What they're talking about early next week, which means it'll bring that rain, that wind straight into Tennessee and on up into our neck of the woods. So Houston is watching it with a very weary eye because of what could be happening there, and they don't need any more disaster there in Houston with Hurricane Harvey. But again, a very, very serious situation. Can't emphasize that enough, having been through one, Hurricane Hugo back in 1990. So obvious concerns for general safety. NFL now facing a looming decision under the shadow of Irma. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins are slated for a Week 1 game at Hard Rock Stadium. Safety issues may force them to make a move on the game. Whether it's a postponement or moving the game up, the league's going to need to do something if projections continue as they have been. And again, it continues to strengthen as going over Cuba now. Heading towards Cuba. I'm not quite sure where the map, the very latest of the map, but it's in that obviously neck of the woods and in the Caribbean and gaining strength. Both teams have a Week 11 bye. The bye week is such a valuable asset for any team, and the idea of playing 16 straight games is a daunting one, to put it mildly. But another option is to move the game up to a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday this week so folks can watch the game and get these guys out of town. But, you know, we got something like that bearing down on you, a Category 5 hurricane. An NFL football game, I can tell you, seems very, very, very inconsequential when it comes to what's potentially could happen as far as devastation with this storm or this hurricane coming into the Gulf of Mexico. NFL, here we go. Thursday night gets it all started. New England, the Patriots, the defending Super Bowl champs, against the Kansas City Chiefs. On Sunday, Tampa Bay and Miami. Again, that one's still up in the air. The Tennessee Titans have been home against the Raiders. Titans going to take a butt whooping. My boys are coming in to win. They haven't won a game in preseason. Raiders at Tennessee on Sunday. Arizona, Detroit. Atlanta at Chicago. The Steelers now with Le'Veon Bell in Cleveland to battle the Browns. Houston hosting Jacksonville. The Jets at Buffalo. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Redskins hosting Philadelphia. NFC East opener right out of the chute. Colts in L.A. against the Rams at Lambeau Field. The Packers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Carolina at San Francisco. The Giants at Dallas. Then on Monday Night Football, the Saints at Minnesota and the Chargers at Denver. A doubleheader on Monday for Monday Night Football. So that's your NFL schedule. Again, it all starts on Thursday night. Kansas City and the Patriots in Foxborough with the defending Super Bowl champs. Unless somebody proves me otherwise, I don't see anybody else. I guess there's teams out there can challenge, but the Patriots seem pretty solid heading into this season as well. But it's a long grind. 16 games is a long, long grind, of course, in the National Football League. So here's a quote from Butch Jones last night. He says, quote, I love this. We've got to get a lot better in a hurry. Butch, not truer words have been spoken, buddy. Georgia Tech outgained you by nearly 300 yards, ran 37 more plays from scrimmage, had 15 more first downs, and possessed the football for 23 more minutes. And Tennessee fans going to say, but we won the game, and you did, 42-41. But, hey, but question marks are very much up in the air about this Tennessee football team, no question. We're going to take a quick break, come right back. We're going to go to Northern Virginia, talk to my man Mike Hedrick, talk a little NASCAR. Coming up next, we're live at Cherokee Barbershop on show number 586 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Summer Drive to unbelievable savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. With a selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from, don't miss out on the Chevy Summer Drive sale. 17 Silverado Crew Cab 1LT, $11,000 off MSRP. 17 Equinox Traction Traverse, $5,000 off MSRP. 17 Cruisin' Sonic, 25% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live with the Tom Dooley Sports Show. Let's go to Northern Virginia. He's there with us, our buddy Mike Hedrick. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop again for show number 586. And Northern Virginia we go to my man, Mike Hedrick. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. I've been watching the show and about the college coaches that get, $10 million to get fired. I was looking back at my contract with you, Tom, and I was looking in that small print, but I'm not seeing that I'm going to get $10 million if I get fired from the show. So I'm going to try my very best to do good today, Tom.
There you go. So Kevin Sumlin gets fired if he gets fired from Texas A&M, the guy's got a $10 million buyout, which is unbelievable. Now, you're a big football guy. Tell me, Tennessee wins last night, 42-41 in double overtime. I keep going back to these stats. Georgia Tech outgains Tennessee by nearly 300 yards. Ran 37 more plays, had 15 more first downs, and possessed the ball more than 23 minutes longer than Tennessee. So I don't think it's the case Tennessee winning. I think Georgia Tech lost the game. What do you think?
Yeah, they I don't know at one point, that you can just let a team come back at you like that. And hands up to Tennessee for just keeping your head in the game. I'm watching college ball this year again because of the anthem sitters. I'm actually one of the ones that are boycotting the NFL. So I'm not watching any of the games this season. I didn't watch last year. I believe in you should stand up like NASCAR, put your hand on your heart, and thank that flag up there. So I'm getting all my NFL news from you, Tom. So we can talk NASCAR, but if you ask me anything about the NFL, I'm probably not going to know.
No, and I'm rapidly not going to know either, although I got to do it for a sports show. But no, I'm anti-NFL. Again, Roger Goodell said the answer to the national anthem is just leave the players in the locker room before the game until the national anthem is played, which is not the answer. But that's gutless, but that's just me. So let's go NASCAR. Give me a recap of Darlington Raceway, the track too tough to tame, and it was. Tell me about it.
Well, it was great. It was a fantastic racing out there all weekend long at Darlington. It was a throwback weekend. Started off with the Sports Clip haircut, the Xfinity race, the VFW 200. Now, Denny Hamlin won that with what he called a throwback to Dale Earnhardt. And what he did was on the very last lap, he did a slingshot move under Joey Logano in turn 4, a drag race all the way down to the finish line. And you know what? He got the win in that really good-looking car. So Denny got his second Xfinity Series win of this season and is actually 17th of the year. Logano went to finish second, followed by Harvick, that Jones boy, William Byron, Brennan Poole or whatever. But, yeah, great racing right there. And if you're going to sweep a weekend of racing, you got to win the Xfinity race, and that's exactly what he did. He went on to the throwback there at the Bojangles Southern 500. The race actually started off with the King, Richard Petty. I thought he was going to win stage 1, but NASCAR black flagged him because he stayed on the track. Can you black flag the King? I didn't know that you could even do that.
Yeah.
Martin Truex, well, we know he is the king of stages, and he did. He won stage 1. He won stage 2. It looked like he was going to get stage 3, but he tried to stay out there on those tires. 62 laps is a long time on those tires. They finally gave way. Denny Hamlin, he had struggles of his own. He had a fast car all day, but he missed pit road at one time, and that lost him 10 seconds. So he had to scramble back. I think he might have caught Truex even without that tire going out. But, yeah, Denny Hamlin gets the victory. He gets the sweep there at Darlington. That's his second win this season, second at Darlington, 31st of his career. So, yeah, great racing. Kyle Busch finished second, followed by Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon. That Jones boy came in fifth. Kenseth, Newman, Truex, Harvick, and McMurray finished out the top 10. Great racing. The clothes looked great. It was just a fun weekend.
Again, we're talking to Mike Hedrick on the phone, the NASCAR fans reporter from Northern Virginia. So I was listening to it traveling, and it sounded like there were several drivers who missed going into the pits, much like Denny Hamlin did. Why was that happening in Darlington over the weekend?
Well, Denny said that because of he had had a slow pit stop earlier in the race, that he had determined he was going to do everything he could to be as fast as he could coming into that pit stop there that one time, and he just missed it. Darlington, like I said, they're going fast. That's a fast track for being crazy as it's shaped. And the way they just got to hook down into those little pit lanes. Hamlin was very smart. He kept on the gas and got back out on the track instead of just locking it up like maybe a rookie would have done and hit the barrier straight on. So crazy that he had to do that. But his team stuck with him the whole race, and I guess just sheer determination. And it was great. The sweep. You got to look at Joe Gibbs Racing has swept the last ones. We were at Bristol. Kyle Busch gets a sweep right there. They come to Darlington. Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin gets a sweep right there. Them Toyotas are coming on strong.
That was my next question as far as trivia, and I do not have this answer before I ask you. I'm going to tell you that ahead of time. When was the last time a team, in this case Joe Gibbs Racing, had a sweep at Bristol and then came back the next week and the same team swept the next track, in this case Denny Hamlin? I wonder if that's ever been done before.
Well, the official answer for me is I don't know, but it would have to be hard for, I guess there were times when, I don't know, sweeps are hard. Sweeps are really hard. I think you had the analogy a couple of weeks ago. It's one thing, it's like you're changing the quarterback. A quarterback is playing with this NFL team, and then the quarterback jumps into a car with a different coach with a different team and wins, and then that same quarterback jumps in with another team at another level and wins. That was a great analogy, and that's how hard that is to do their sweeping. So if it's done before in the past, I don't know, but I think it shows how strong them Toyotas are coming on.
We're talking to Mike Hedrick. I want to say hello to Christian Trivet and also Carter Davison and my buddy Jeremiah Clark and some of the folks watching, listening to the show. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop, again in South Johnson City, where haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep the cup. Obviously, you see the length of my hair, and they say, Horace sent me a text today, be a good day to get your hair cut. I'm growing it for Pantenes, again, for the ladies who are going through cancer, and so when it reaches the magical length, we're going to cut the hair, and Gators will cut it for me, but we're not there yet. So Pantenes, PantenesBeautifulLinks.com is the website you want to go to, and so we're going to get that cut. In all seriousness, I take it very seriously, the fact that I'm growing his hair because I lost my mother and my father to cancer. And so I'm growing it that way. We can give it to folks at Pantene to help make wigs for ladies going through chemo and radiation. So once we get there, we'll let this guy, I guess, you going to be the one cutting it or not? I guess that means making a turkey noise. I guess that means yes. Mike Hedrick, tell me. That's just Gator. Mike Hedrick, again, we got guys in. We got guys on the bubble. Got guys looking on the outside. Currently heading to Richmond in on points, Chase Elliott, Matt Kenseth, and Jamie McMurray. On the outside looking in, Clint Boyer, that Jones boy, Eric Jones, Joey Logano, of course, Dale Jr. So Richmond, this is it. All the pressure's on these guys, and there's a lot of pressure on these teams. Owners say, guys, we want to be in the chase. We want that national exposure. So there's a lot of pressure. Is that a fair statement going into this race Saturday night?
You know, it is a lot of pressure, and it all comes down to, what they call it, the last race before the chase or the playoffs now. And Richmond is a great place to do that at. It's been around a long time. They actually this year here dropped the International from their name. It's just Richmond Raceway now. So they're heading out for the Federated Auto Parts 400. Now, originally the Richmond Fairgrounds track was built in 1946. They had their first race in 1953, which was a NASCAR race. It's really a fun and a fast track. It's a 3/4 mile D-shaped oval with 14-degree banking. You really can pass everywhere on the track. We know that Carl Edwards won in the springtime last year, and Denny Hamlin won in the fall. But, there are a lot of great drivers. And we also know that Joey Logano won this last spring race, but that race was encumbered because of lug nuts or whatever. So he's really hot. He's going to have to do if there's somebody that has a chip on their shoulder that needs to get in and already feels like they deserve to be in. Look for Logano maybe to be really pushing it. Your guys that have the best driver ratings are Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Clint Boyer is fourth in driver ratings. He's another guy just outside that bubble, so maybe Clint Boyer could pull up something. You can't never count out that Jones boy.
Can't count out that Jones boy. You're exactly right. We're talking to Mike Hedrick on the phone again, Northern Virginia, the NASCAR fans reporter. Also, out of fairness, let's dive in here. By the way, the winner of last year's race, winner from the pole, Denny Hamlin. Joe Gibbs Racing has won 4 out of the last 7 races, so this is the hot team right now. And so Hamlin and the boys head into Richmond Raceway, as Mike alluded to, and he's right. The Xfinity Series, Austin Dillon won the pole last year, but Kyle Busch won the race at Richmond. This year it's the Virginia 529 College Savings 250. And so let's talk about the Xfinity Series for just a second.
Well, you know what? They're going to be heading over there. Their playoffs are not totally clinched. There's about eight of them that actually have clinched spots into their playoffs. That's your William Byron and your Al Geyer, Ryan Reed, Jeremy Clements, Elliott Sadler, Brennan Poole, Daniel Hemrick, and Cole Custer. They've all clinched their way in. Right now on points is another 4 guys. That's a Matt Tiff, Blake Cook, Michael Annette and Brendan Gaughan. Those guys would be in on points right now. But, there's some really good drivers just outside that bubble. One of them would be your Ross Chastain with JD Motorsports. That kid in that number 4 car is really on fire. Dakota Armstrong is right there. And it's going to be a great track where, again, it's a fast track. There's a lot of room to move around on it. And so, the weather should be great. I've been looking at it. I'm right here in Virginia. It's just down the road, so it looks like it should be great racing. And them Xfinity cars are going to be tearing it up.
And then last but not least, out of fairness, to give us the very latest on the Camping World Truck Series playoff for the trucks as they're getting ready to get into their own chase for the championship as well. Tell me about that.
Well, I don't have the playoff guys right here in front of me or whatever, but this last truck race that they had up there at the Canadian or the Canada Tire Motorsports car, that was crazy. Austin Cindric, driving the number 19 Brad Keselowski Ford, he basically just ran all over Kaz Grala and ran him off of the track on the very last lap for the win. I've heard people say that it was a dirty move, or heard people say that, hey, it was good racing. Either way, it got the young man into the playoffs. For them, Kaz Grala, he's got a win from Daytona, so he's in. But yeah, those guys are fighting it. They have less spots that they're trying to get in. I think it's 10. I'm not positive on that. But yeah, that is heating up over there in the Truck Series too.
Yeah, one race Chicago before the first round, which is the round of 8, which starts in New Hampshire. Here's the guys that are in: Christopher Bell, John Hunter Nemechek, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Kaz Grala, and Austin Cindric are definitely in the chase. That gives you 6. There's 2 more to have to get in. Currently in on points is Chase Briscoe and Ben Rhodes. On the outside looking in is Ryan Truex, Grant Enfinger, Justin Haley, the kid that helped us when we called the race up at Bristol a couple of weeks ago. We were calling the Cup Series. Noah Gragson, who drives for Kyle Busch. What a great kid he was, and a great interview. And so, Larry, you're looking good, buddy. I know. I heard. I keep tabs on you, so doing good. Larry Williams coming and get his ears lowered. Looking good. A handsome rascal. So there you go. It was good to see you, sir. Place is steady Freddie in here again at the old barbershop. Again, Noah Gragson. Again, Mike, a guy that worked with us during the calling of the race at Bristol. This kid's a phenomenal driver. He's on the outside looking into the trucks, but again, Kyle Busch Motorsports, and this is a kid you want to keep an eye on for the future. So it's tight on all 3 series. You have some other news to tell us about. We're talking to Mike Hedrick, again, the NASCAR fans reporter with us live at Cherokee Barbershop. Coming up, got the kids from Milligan College going to join us coming up next. And go ahead and tell us what else you got on your mind about NASCAR, my friend.
Okay, well, silly season. Only thing that really happened this last weekend here, we know that Chase Elliott switched his number. He's going to go from the 24 to the number 9. Like his father, but he also has an Xfinity championship in that number 9 car. That's going to put William Byron coming up as a rookie into the series. The number 5 car is going to go away, and that's going to become the number 24 team. Another one we were talking about is Subway, who's been a long-time NASCAR sponsor, drops its sponsorship with Daniel Suarez, and they said that the reason, and with Joe Gibbs Racing. Now, they had a 3 or 4 race deal with them this season, and they've already done a couple of them. They're only actually going to be missing one. They said the reason is it's out of their contract to have Daniel Suarez was handing out Dunkin' Donuts on TV at a pre-race show, and I guess if you're serving breakfast here at Subway, you don't want them handing out Dunkin' Donuts. So, yeah, that was, I don't know whose mistake that was, whether that was Daniel Suarez or your PR person or whatever for not catching that. But hey, sponsors in the series are hard to get, and so losing one, that can't be good.
That is a bonehead move. That's like a guy getting up there that's a Pepsi sponsor and drinking a Coca-Cola after the race where everybody can see him. I mean, that's how dumb this was, and so somebody's going to take a hit for it. I would assume the PR people, because Subway says, and I've got the story, they confirmed, make sure I read this correctly here, but they confirmed, Joe Gibbs Racing confirmed that a segment with Daniel Suarez handing out, as you said, Dunkin' Donuts on a pre-race telecast in July was Subway's issue and terminating its deal. Of course, they do serve breakfast at Subway, so I don't know if they do donuts, but they serve breakfast, and so, in fact, they were calling this Desano, I think that's how you say it in Spanish. Breakfast with Daniel was a great hit with the fans. Subway has been serving breakfast since 2010. To have an agent of the company passing out Dunkin' Donuts could be seen as a conflict of interest. Subway says it was, and they dropped him like a hot potato. Also, Team Penske and Menards announcing today that they will sponsor Ryan Blaney, the number 12 Ford Fusion, on 14 Cup Series races next year in 2018. So the sponsors, some are going, some are staying. What about, I heard that Hendrick's going after Kevin Harvick to take the number 5 place of Casey Kane. You heard anything about that?
That one I haven't heard about just yet. I haven't heard that one at all. But you know what? Like we've talked before, Mr. Hendricks has a very deep pockets and is loyal. So if there's any kind of uneasy feelings, maybe over there at Stewart-Haas, or uneasy if they don't have enough sponsors for everybody, I haven't heard that move. But you know what? That would be a powerhouse move. Now they'd have to do something with that Alex Bowman guy. Because he's coming up to be in the 88 car. So right now they've already kind of got 4 cars filled up. But yeah, Kevin Harvick coming over, that would make that team. It would give you 2 good veterans back in the seats along with Jimmy Johnson over there.
I guess it could happen, but I just don't see Kevin Harvick jumping from Stewart-Haas Racing. Now he might, but of course, Rick Hendrick's got a big checkbook and deep pockets. But I had heard a couple of weeks ago at Bristol where they're going to set that number 5 number back for a while, and they're going to run a 4-team. As you said, Jimmy Johnson and Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott and William Byron. So we'll see, but that was one of the rumor mills that I heard over the weekend that Harvick was being courted by Rick Hendrick to drive the number 5 car. I just don't see it. Last but not least, I think you want to tell me about Ken Squire. Had some kind of funny moments on the broadcast. Tell me about that, or telecast.
It was hilarious. It was of course, it was the throwback weekend there at Darlington, so they brought back some of the old school broadcasters, Ned Jarrett, and had Dale Jarrett in there. But they had Hall of Fame broadcaster Ken Squire in there with his amazing voice. He's got an amazing voice, old school. But he was hilarious, and he must have missed the politically correct memo or something, because at one point he refers to Eric Jones coming off pit road behind Kyle, and then he goes, and that Jones boy is in hot pursuit. So I thought that. So if you hear me talking about Eric Jones, it's no longer Eric with a K. He's going to be now forever known as that Jones boy. And then at another time, a little bit later on in that same restart, he referred to rookie Daniel Suarez we were just talking about. He said about him, he goes, and Suarez, the Mexican, he's coming off. He's doing good, too. And I just put my hand, I did like the old face palm. And I was like, oh, Ken, you didn't go there. I was waiting for him to say, something about Danica and yoga pants or something like that. It was hilarious. And another thing that I saw, I got up early on Saturday and I watched a little bit of the Formula One racing over in Spain. Now, I know I tell everybody that Formula One is a lot more upscale than NASCAR and everything. But, Tom, I actually saw a pit crew member actually vacuuming the pit stall. Tom, he had a vacuum on pit road and was vacuuming. And I'm sure it was a Dyson, because it was all upscale. But, Tom, have you ever seen a vacuum on pit road?
Never saw a vacuum on pit road at Bristol Motor Speedway. Nope, so that's the first for me. But they were doing it where? Would you say it was happening in Mexico?
It was Formula One racing in Spain is what I was watching earlier on.
Yeah, good stuff. So running a vacuum in the pit stall in Spain, El Español. Mike Hedrick, great report, my friend. We'll talk to you next week. Big weekend of racing, Richmond Raceway. Who's going to be in, who's going to be out in the chase next week, and we'll know by now, or by this time next week, we'll know, I should say. Hey, great report. Thank you as always, my friend. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right, you have a great day. Stay out of the rain if it's heading your way, and God bless everybody real good.
Yep, great job, Mike Hedrick. Thank you very much. Live with us from Northern Virginia. We're here live at Cherokee Barbershop. Our haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep the cup. And we're going to take a break, come right back, and we're going to talk some Milligan sports. Chris Lane's in here, cross-country coach. Jones going to sing. That's pretty cool. Monjay said she was going to sing a little bit. And the big guy's in the house, too. What is she going to sing, Monjay? National Anthem? Good. Yeah, we won't kneel either. We'll stand and keep our hands across our heart like those yahoos in the NFL. Can you believe? God, that just makes my blood boil. So the answer to that, they're going to keep the football teams in the locker room during the national anthem so there won't be any protest. That's gutless. That is gutless. All right. High school football polls are out this week. 6A, Murfreesboro, Oakland at number 1. Science Hill in at number 5 this week. In 6A, 5A football, Beach at number 1. Daniel Boone, the Trailblazers at number 5 in the state. 4A football, Greenville number 1, Elizabeth at number 6. So Daniel Boone at number 5 in 5A takes on Elizabeth at number 6 in 4A. Science Hill, the number 5 team in 6A football, entertaining the Greenville Green Devils, the number 1 team in 4A football. 2 great matchups this weekend. 3A football, Alcoa number 1, the Longhorns of Johnson County, and a number 4 in the state this week in 3A. 2A football, Marion County number 1, Happy Valley in at number 10 for the Warriors. And in 2A football, you have the number 1 team is South Pittsburgh, and the Cloudland Highlanders in at number 9. So Every team in Carter County, with the exception of Unaka, is in the polls this week in high school football in the state of great state of Tennessee, which is incredible. Here's your schedule coming up on Thursday: Bearden and South Doyle. On Friday, Avery County, North Carolina, Cloudland, Cherokee and Union County, Chucky Doak at Sullivan North, Daniel Boone at Elizabeth, and that's going to be a barn burner. Crockett at Gibbs, Dobbins Minute travels to Sevier County. Science Hill takes on the number one team in the state, Greenville, on Friday night at Kermit Tipton Stadium in Johnson City. Hampton and Gallenberg Pittman. Happy Valley goes to Unicoi County. Jeff County at Knox Carter. Knox Central to Hardin Valley. Maryville will play at Alcoa. That's a grudge match coming up Friday night. Maryville against Alcoa. North Green at Cosby. Oak Ridge at Farragut. Scott at Granger. I'm really looking forward to Jones singing. I think it's going to be good. Sullivan Central, just kind of hit me. Sullivan Central, Johnson County. Sullivan East, the Patriots will go to Churchill to battle the Volunteer Falcons. South Green hosting West Green. And Cock County, Morristown West have the week off. In Southwest Virginia, Hancock County at Rye Cove. Holston and John Battle. J.I. Burton and Lee. Patrick Henry at Eastside. The Abington Falcons hosting Pulaski County on Friday night. Ridgeview goes to Wise Central. Sullivan South across the state line go to Legionville to battle the Gate City Blue Devils. The Bragging Rights of Bristol on the line Friday night. Tennessee High at Virginia High in the VT game. Thomas Walker at Castlewood. Twin Springs will go to Chilhowie and battle the Warriors. And Union at Letcher Central. That's your high school football schedule. Looks like it's going to be more fall-like weather on Friday night. They're talking game time temperature is going to be in the low 60s, going to be down to the 50s, and maybe into the 40s in mountains on Friday night. So definitely a little shot of fall in the air, and it's, as John Ward says it should be, it's football time in Tennessee. Quick break. We'll be right back. We've got Jones singing. We've got Chris Lane talking, Monjay talking. Big guy you going to talk to? Morgan, you going to talk? No, not today. You just his contract says you're just riding with the gang. All right, good stuff. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop on show number 586 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Nope, I'm not Chris Lane. We're going to get him on the camera. We're back here live again at Cherokee Barbershop. Our haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep the cup. Boom, let's get him on. And there he is right there, Chris Lane, our cross-country coach. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well, Tom. How about you?
Good. Thanks for coming by. Daniel Monjay is going to join us coming up here in just a few minutes. But busy time, cross-country. Before we get into the current team, one of the coolest ladies in the world, and you know this because you've been her coach, and so we had her on the show earlier in the summer. We were at Coach Robinson's basketball camp, which was a barn-burning, huge success. My little person loves going to Milligan camp, loves that guy right there. She is all about the big guy. So anyway, we were there, and when we were there, Hannah happened to be there, and we put her on the air, and it was great.
Jumped
so
on the show,
yeah. Was on the show. So give us an update on Hannah Seagrave, please.
Yeah, so she had a fantastic summer. She had a great spring with us, winning her 4th national title, and then she ended up racing one more time in a Milligan uniform, went 2:02 in the 800, one of the fastest times in the nation among all collegians. That qualified her for the European Under-23 Championships, and she got the opportunity to represent Great Britain in that event, and went on to get the bronze medal, and then raced one more time internationally in Belgium, and then shut it down, took a break, and she's going to come back this fall and resume training and at the next level, and see if she can keep taking steps, which I think she can.
Do people have any idea about the magnitude of this? I mean, we said she won all these awards, won all these events, and set the records, and now she's gone. But do people, I hope they did, we tried our dead level best to let people know, but the significance, the impact she had on Milligan, and also just in running in general in this area?
Well, the running is deep rooted in East Tennessee, largely in part to the program that Dave Walker had back at ETSU back in the day, and I think I've always said it. He's a guy that really got running kick-started in this region, and I've felt responsible for keeping that going. Of course, when we bring a young man or young lady into our program, I mean one of the main goals is to make them as good as they can be. And she had a tremendous impact because she's made me a better coach. I think she continues to put our institution on the map because she's competing at the highest level with the best kids in the country, and that was exciting to see. And we had to start to travel to the University of Florida and places like that to get opportunities for her to race to get what she needed. That's a good problem to have, and so again, we need to keep that going.
We are, and she's such a humble lady as well. We're talking about Hannah Seagrave. It's Donna Chris Lane, the Milligan College cross-country coach. We're live here at Cherokee Barbershop, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink, where they're buy one, get one free this week at Food City. And so Grip Energy Drink, it is an awesome, we got root beer, lemon, lime, pink grapefruit. We've got white grape. We've got sugar-free orange and sugar-free pink grapefruit. He looks good, man. Gator, you bring him in shaggy and send him out handsome. That's good. If you can grow it, I can cut it. Oh, what a piece of work. So, Coach, tell me about 2017, the cross-country team right now, Milligan.
Yeah, we're kind of, again, talking about Hannah Seagrave, the first question we get is, now what? We're back to Milligan College cross country. Women started the season, preseason number 16, men are number 24. Two really good squads, two young squads, two really good squads. We opened up at Western Carolina this past weekend. University of Georgia won that. Western was second. We were third, top non-D1 school in the meet, and the kids really look solid. Probably even a step ahead of where I thought we might be opening up, and that's a good sign. So we're gonna take a shot, just keep doing what we're doing, and we're gonna be more by committee this year. We're not going to have the front runners in Tefelsky and Seagrave like we did last year, but we've got a good solid nucleus, good solid top 5, and so sometimes that makes you even more successful.
Absolutely. Throw out some names of some of the kids running this year cross country.
Well, one of those in the radio world is Caitlin Haas, and I believe her uncle's over at Sports Monster. And Caitlin looks to be our number 1 this year. She's a sophomore out of Morristown West. Number 2 is a young lady, Sarah Kate Gartman, out of Chattanooga area. On the men's side, I think we got a real steal, probably one of the top kids out of Knoxville. Tim Thacker had some Division I looks, and Tim ended up with us. And he was he was 6th this past weekend, and the only guys in front of him were UGA kids. And so I think he's got a bright future. And then we've got a good core group of guys back. It's going to be by committee. Mitch Bronstetter from Daniel Boone High School is running really well for us. He had a really good year last year as a freshman. So I think there's a lot yet to play out. These young guys have to move from 5K in high school up to 8K. And that's a big jump. So once we get into the longer distances, this will be interesting to see how things play out. But I think we've got the personnel to be pretty successful.
On your schedule, they're all important, obviously. Again, we're talking to Coach Lane. You see on the screen, the Milligan cross-country coach. Every meet is important. Is there any one you circle and go, depending on how we do in that particular one, will kind of give us a barometer of where we are as a program or as a team? Is there one of those on your schedule this year?
Yeah, it definitely is. And unlike college football, where every game matters, we can be a little more selective. Certainly we talk about the championship part of the season, and that's late October into November, starting with the Sand Shark Invitational, which is a collection of the top D2 NAI programs in the Southeast, and that's always a great weather, great opportunity to run fast. Then we trickle into our conference meet 2 weeks later, and then that'll determine who goes to the national championship. So, we're going to train hard. We're going to race a little bit, but we're going to train hard through September and get ready for a big push in late October into November.
With not only the success of Hannah Seagraves, but the other kids on your program in the past, is it easier to recruit Milligan now because the word's out there, and she was, and some other kids knew, not just Hannah, but over the years done very well in cross country and track and field. So does it make it easier to recruit locally or even outside the local area because Milligan's making a name on the cross country on the map, if you will?
Well, I think there's no question that I don't care who you are, at what level, you have an appreciation for what we're doing. I still think that we're going to attract a certain type of kid. Hannah had a big influence in the UK. We've started to see a number of kids come to us with an interest in coming over on the men's and women's side. And this year we actually have a freshman, Nathan Baker, who's going to probably be one of our top guys. He's from Hannah's club in Middlesbrough, and because of her, he's now with us. And I think we're starting to see that. But we're limited in the number of international kids we can and probably want to bring in. And so I think we've always had respect. I think this certainly proves that we can get it done at any level, and I think, truth be told, it's we still have to make sure we're bringing the right kids in that are a fit for us, because we're a different animal on the academic side, different animal on the social side, and I think we're proud of both of those differences, and I will never get away from just wanting to sign those young under the radar kids that we can coach up, that 2-3 years down the road, Division I coaches look up and say, man, how did I miss this kid? Well, you just didn't even know their name because they weren't on the radar.
There you go. Continued success. We'll get you back on a little bit later on the season, see how things are going. I do appreciate you coming by and keep up the good work, my friend.
Hey, thank you very much, Tom. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Let's get, again, my man Daniel Monjay in right now, the Sports Information Director of Milligan College. We're live here again at Cherokee Barbershop. Coming up, we'll break down Major League Baseball, wild card standings, and the regular divisional races and what happened last night in the big. So we got a baseball segment coming up. We're also going to go back and rerun down through what's going on in the high school football. Big weekend of high school football action. None bigger, of course, than the two right up the road. You've got Elizabethton playing host to the Daniel Boone Trailblazers, both ranked in the state, as you heard a few minutes ago. And, of course, Science Hill, 5th in the state in 6A, hosting the number 1 team in 4A, the Greenville Green Devils, which will be a barn burner as well. But right now, boom, he's there, my man Daniel Monjay, the Milligan Sports Information Director. So Joan is not really going to sing. That was just kind of a setup.
Oh, she's singing.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, she is going to sing.
She was even saying a second ago that she wants to.
Oh. So she's your brand new intern, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
She started in August doing the 10-month thing for the next year for us.
And she's doing a great job. Turn around and smile because she wants to get your picture. There we go. There. Boy, Joan, she is a social media whatever, right?
She is.
She
Guru, whatever you want to call
Guru,
it.
there you go. Good stuff. Now let's talk about before we get into Milligan, what's the latest on your Falcons? What are they going to do this year in football?
Oh, man. Hopefully a repeat of getting to the Super Bowl, but then not a repeat of what happened in the Super Bowl. I'd like to see that.
Opening up in Soldier Field against the Bears on Sunday. So what do you think? Feel good about it? The Falcons and the Bears?
I feel pretty good about it, yeah.
All right.
I think.
You don't, but I'm not feeling it. Yeah, a little hesitate. I didn't feel the confidence.
Well, I honestly just don't. I haven't paid enough attention to. We'll see Sunday.
Sunday. There you go.
See and
well, I am confident my Raiders are going to come into Nashville and just put a butt whooping on the Titans. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
They're going to beg for mercy when the Raiders get down to silver and black.
The Raiders don't play the Falcons this year, do they?
No.
But we did last year, right?
Yes.
How'd that turn out?
I don't know. I don't think it went well. Well, Daniel was going to finish the show, but somebody's called him and can't finish it out. No, the Falcons.
How about we have a rematch this year in the Super Bowl?
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
The Raiders and the Falcons. That'd be good.
That'd be a good
That would be really good. So, by the way, I owe you lunch, don't I? Didn't we bet that? We bet on something, and I lost, didn't I?
I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure.
I'll take a free lunch.
We're talking to Daniel Monje, the Sports Information Director at Milligan College. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop. You can see the barber pole right there, right outside. And, of course, there's a little thing right above Daniel's head that says 25 cents barber. And then what's really cool is you see on the screen here, when you get done, they ring the bell right here. So, and again, there's the barber pole right outside. We're at the Executive Park South Complex in South Johnson City. Place is full here on a Tuesday. And when the barber pole's out, the Gator Man's in. He's open Tuesday through Saturday. Milligan has had Chris Lane, Coach Lane on the cross country. What other fall sports going on right now? Can you give me an update?
Well, Chris kind of stole the show, I guess. He's got the most successful program going on right now. Among the other fall sports, we've got soccer, both men's and women's soccer. We've got volleyball going. It's kind of off to a slow start. Men's and women's soccer, well, the women picked up their first win last night. Volleyball, I think, is 2-6 right now. They've had 2 weekends of tournament play. But we'll see. It's obviously a long season. We got a long way to go, but a little bit of a slow start so far.
Had Coach Bays on earlier in the year. She joined us when we were at Phil's Dream Pit, so they're kind of out of the gate slow, but they've played some pretty tough competition, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they played last weekend. It was at Lindsey Wilson. I know they didn't play Lindsey Wilson, but Lindsey Wilson is nationally ranked. I think there were a couple other teams in there in that tournament that were nationally ranked or close to the top 25 poll. We played Mobile our last match, and I think just kind of ran out of gas. And Mobile, historically, I think has been a team that kind of is in the national championship tournament each year, and I think right now they're receiving votes. So tough competition, but obviously I think that's a good thing to schedule those types of opponents early on, just because you get that experience and
helps
hopefully that makes it a little easier as you go.
Yeah, helps in your conference too, right?
Yeah.
To go outside and play the big boys, if you will, and it makes you stronger inside your conference. Right now in volleyball, who's one of the stronger teams, or who is the strongest team?
Well, preseason we were ranked as the number 2 in the conference, runner-up. Union, who won the conference regular season and the conference tournament last year, was the preseason favorite. Then behind us, I think St. Andrews, Bluefield, maybe a couple other that did really well last year were kind of behind us. The tricky thing about volleyball this year is they've split it up and they're doing divisions. So they've got a north and a south, and actually I think right now the north is the one that we're in. It's maybe a little bit more, has some of the top teams. So it's a little more talented.
Talented, yep. Talking to Daniel Monje, the Sports Information Director of Milligan College. Last week, Coach Stout, Harold Stout, passed away, who was heavily involved, obviously, in Milligan College. And so when you lose one of those, I guess, pioneers of the athletic program, for lack of a better term, it's tough. But again, he was a very integral part of the Milligan, particularly the baseball program, for many, many years.
Yeah, he was, I think, the longest tenured coach for baseball at Milligan.
Yeah. New Coach Stout, and great guy. He, I know a lot of folks have come out since then and said either they played for him and coached, or primarily played under him, and both at East Tennessee State and Milligan. So we lose a good guy in Coach Stout. you in the summertime update records. I know Hannah Seagraves had a bunch of records you had to move around and change, and so that's kind of what you do in the summertime. You updating all the different sports, right?
Yeah, we've done that. All the new record books are up. We've kind of, I guess, the last 2-3 weeks have been working on just getting everything ready for this year. So we've got all of our headshots and team pictures done. Those have been posted on our site. All the schedules pretty much for the whole year have been posted. I think we're maybe missing one or two. And then same with the rosters, we're maybe missing one or two. But other than that, website's got everything. Everything's up to date. We're kind of ready, I guess, to kind of start hitting that stride with seasons.
How many years you been in Milligan? 4. Yeah.
I'm actually on my 4-year anniversary.
Yeah.
A couple of months.
Sports Information Director of the Year in conference, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Joan, would you come over, please? Stand behind him. At least get you on the camera. So, what is Joan's last name?
Maxwell.
Joan Maxwell. There, look at her. And you went to what school?
Lee University.
Yeah. Where'd you go to high school?
Up in Illinois.
Up in Illinois. So you've been to Milligan for how long now?
A month and a week.
Having a good time?
Yeah, it's been great.
Has Daniel been treating you nice?
Yeah, he's okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I like her already. Give him the stuff. There you go. So, well, if he's not nice to you, let me know, okay? And I'm gonna bust him in the head. So you're with us for. There you go. Are you come around on my show? All right. So what is your job? What do you do? How do you help Daniel Monjay?
Just about everything he does, I do. So we kind of split up sports. Right now, I'm primary contact for women's soccer, volleyball, and cross country.
Cool. And you're doing.
I tell her to do everything.
Got you.
I just take naps.
Just kick back.
We tag team a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He props up his feet up on the desk and smokes cigars and tells her what to do, right? There you go. All right. Website. Tell me about the website of Milligan College.
Yeah, milliganbuffs.com. It's got everything, and like I said, we've got team pictures, our headshots, all the schedules, rosters are all up there. Now, for the most part, I think we're missing one or two, but yeah, milliganbuffs.com.
Yeah, good stuff. They work hard. I know. I don't see how they get done what they get done for school that size. How many total sports are you in charge of?
24.
24 sports between 2 people.
12 head coaches.
Unbelievable. 24 sports between 2 people. Joan Maxwell and Daniel Monjay getting it done. Is the big guy going to come? Are you really not going to talk today? You got to come over and talk. Come on. Daniel, let him come talk for just a second about basketball. Good job. Thank you. Good man right there. Love having these guys on. I love promoting Milligan College. The orange and black. I want to brag on the old boy and his camp. Tell me about who you are.
Morgan McLeod, assistant men's basketball.
Yeah.
Coach at Milligan College.
Yeah. Now, the little one, we just talked about you the other day. She said, Granddad, Morgan, he called me, he said, I called him a giant at camp. He said, you're a shrimp or something like that. She just thinks you're the cat's meow. And so
I do my best.
Yes, you do. And so it was a great camp. I want to applaud you publicly, you and Coach Robinson and the whole staff. You had 2 almost full camps at Milligan, and I understand the camp out at Colonial Heights Christian was almost full or was full.
We had, I think it was 360 kids in camp this summer altogether amongst 4 weeks. We had our largest camp of 167 in the second week of July.
I don't know about the other camps, so my little people aren't involved, but I can tell you if you want a testimonial from a grandparent or a parent about the basketball camp at Milligan, it is awesome, and this guy's part of it, and so you can circle the calendar dates next year to come to a camp at Milligan because it's great. They have a good time, and Coach Robinson does I wouldn't say a sermonette, I guess a challenge after or at one point during the camp, which is very, very good too. He's a great role model, so is this guy. Talking about the team, are you in practice right now?
We start this evening. First.
Oh, really?
First day.
Cranks up tonight. Boy. Tell me about the team. What do you think?
I think we'll be good. We returned almost everybody from last year. Returned all 5 starters. Returned really our top 8 guys. So, and then we added 3 new pieces. 1 freshman from Greensboro and 2 transfers from Texas. So
what do you feel like your strength will be this year?
Strength will be in the guard spot. Trying to be faster than normal.
So I'm trying to think. Cassiday's back. Who else is back as guards?
Tyler Nichols, the leading scorer. Off the bench. He's back.
From Elizabethton. Yep.
Bo Pless.
Elizabethton.
Starting small forward. Dax Boston, our starting point guard. Him and Bo were all freshman team last year.
Who do you feel like going into the preseason? I guess Union's the team to beat because they're the defending national champs, right?
Since they won the national title, they are the team to beat in the conference. They've been the team to beat in the conference for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. What's their coach's name? Kevin
Burton.
Yeah, Kevin Burton. So, you can't. Well, I guess you can. I can say this as an outsider looking in. Rather arrogant bunch over there at Union, aren't they?
You can say that.
You can say that. Yeah. So this would be a good time to.
They've earned that right, though.
That's true. When you're the national champ, I guess you can walk around a little bit of a swagger. So, but Milligan's got a little swagger too. So it starts tonight, practice, and season opens when?
Season opener is October 28th. We are away.
Yeah.
So.
You remember any tournaments you guys are going to this year?
We're going to the show in Kingsport over Thanksgiving break. Saturday, Sunday. We'll play there. We'll have the late games both days up at Meadowview.
Meadowview, yeah. That was good for you guys last year. You got a chance to kind of gauge your team.
And one weekend, I think we played 3 All-Americans and the reigning National Player of the Year for the NRI. So it's great competition. Just about everyone that'll be here that weekend goes to national tournament.
That's awesome. Again, we're talking to Morgan McLeod again from Milligan College. So you played. What's a big memory for you when you played over there?
My biggest memory was probably going to the national tournament my senior year. It was the first time we went in 14 years, and it was a big deal for all of us. We came in second that year in the conference, but because we get 2 bids, we were able to go to a national tournament. So being able to say I helped lead a team to a national tournament helps.
Oh, absolutely. Great experience. So you're now helping coach?
Yes, sir, and the head JV coach.
Awesome. That's good stuff. So, see, he did get on there today, Coach Lane. He said, well, I wasn't going to do it today, but he's on, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. Give me some taters. Good job. Appreciate him very much. Again, Morgan McLeod and all the folks at Milligan College. Again, love having these guys on, and Miss Joan, to be fair, the guys and the lady. And so, again, Milligan College, one of the coolest things to do is go out and watch a basketball game or basketball doubleheader at Milligan College in the wintertime. It's really cool to go out there on a Saturday, get some popcorn and a slab of pizza and sit up in the stands and watch a doubleheader in basketball. It's a cool place to do it, and they run a class program in Milligan. We love promoting the Buffaloes here on the show. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump into baseball. Yep. Going to take a look at Major League Baseball. We're winding things down. We're in the final month of the regular season. Pennant races are heating up. The wild card playoffs are heating up. And so we'll tell you who's doing what, who's playing where today. Your Major League Baseball, we'll take a look at the MLB next here. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop, home of the Gator Man. I was going to get him on, but don't think that's going to happen because he's got a house full, and that's a good thing. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Show number 586. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in the countdown to Christmas, 110 days till Christmas.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, One call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. And looky right here. Here's the picking panel for this week. And, I hit the wrong one. My bad. Let's go back to, let's see. Where is the picking panel website? Oh, boy. He told me to hit, I can't remember where it is now. We'll have to come back and do it tomorrow. I could have sworn I had it ready to go. There's the promo. Who's going to the next big game? $25 prize this week. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/football. Good luck on the picking panel. Picking through Wednesday. Got some good ones this week. Auburn or Clemson, Oklahoma to Ohio State. Those are the two biggies in college football, among others. There's 5 high school games to pick from. 2 of the big ones, of course, Science Hill and Greenville in Johnson City, here in Johnson City, and Daniel Boone and Elizabeth, and that's going to be 2 big ones. And so go right there, TomTaylorSports.com/football. And again, pick your $25 prize if you get them all right, or I guess not get them all right, but the one who gets the most right wins. And so we will announce the winner of this week tomorrow. So you got a week, it's week to week, and so tomorrow is the cutoff to pick for this week for the picking panel. And we had some good entries last week, and some some got 7 out of 10. I think everybody got at least 500. Everybody got 5 out of 10, and one person who we'll announce tomorrow, we'll have him on the show, went 9 out of 10. The only game he missed was the Hampton Happy Valley game, so we'll have them on coming up again tomorrow. All right, let's get back here again. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop. And tomorrow we're going to be at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday at Food City in downtown Kingsport on Clinchfield Street. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball from yesterday and last night. First off, on Labor Day in the National League, the Reds beat Milwaukee 5-4. Mets over Philadelphia 11-7. Colorado 4, San Francisco 3. Pittsburgh all over the Cubs 12-0. Whoo! There's a butt whooping. Pirates 12, Cubs nothing. St. Louis shuts out San Diego 2-0. Washington 7, Miami 2. Texas beat the Braves 8-2, and Arizona shut out the Dodgers, the best team in baseball, with 92 wins under the belt. Arizona beat the Dodgers. That's 1 versus 2 in the Western Division. Arizona making a little bit of a statement, blanking the Dodgers 13-0 yesterday. Wow. In the American League, Kansas City over Detroit 7-6. Over the weekend, the Tigers announcing Daniel Norris will be put in the bullpen now for Detroit to get his arm back where they want it to be. So he may end up being a starter the last part of the month. But primarily, looks like they're going to shut him down for, well, hello. Well, look at him. Going to shut him down for bullpen work for the rest of the season. Coming out of the Detroit Tiger bullpen now. Kansas City beat Detroit 7-6. Yankees over Baltimore 7-4. Cleveland beat Chicago 5-3. Angels 11. Oakland 9-11. Houston beat Seattle 6-2. You give Ben some Oreos. He needs an Oreo. Toronto beat Boston 10-4, Tampa Bay over Minnesota 11-4, and Texas beat Atlanta in interleague play 8-2. And that's the finals from yesterday. Diamondbacks, of course, they beat the Dodgers 13-0, as we told you. Diamondback outfielder J.D. Martinez becoming the 18th player in Major League history to hit four home runs in a game. He connected against Dodger reliever Wilmer Font in the top of the ninth inning for home number 4. He homered early against Rich Hill, Pedro Baez, and Josh Fields. So J.D. Martinez, 18th player in Major League history to hit 4 home runs in a game. How about that? And that's obviously big-time stuff. Standings right now in Major League Baseball: in the East, Washington with a 16-game lead over Miami. In the Central, Chicago's lead over the Brewers down to 3.5. Cardinals 5 out. In the West, Dodgers 12.5 better than Arizona, and the Dodgers with 92 wins, the best record in baseball. In the American League, Boston's lead to New York has shrunk down to 2.5. It was 5 on Friday, so down to 2.5. Baltimore 7 out. In the Central Division, Cleveland with a 10-game lead over Minnesota, and in the West, Houston 13.5 better than the Los Angeles Angels. In your wild card race, looks like this. It's Arizona, Colorado, Milwaukee, the Cardinals, and Miami, really the teams in the hunt in the National League. In the American League, you've got them all the way down, all the way down probably to Tampa Bay. That's 2, 4, 6, 8 teams in the American League in the running in the wild card race, led by the Yankees. Then comes Minnesota, the Angels, Baltimore, Texas, Seattle, Kansas City, and Tampa Bay. Those are the teams in the hunt in the wild card race in Major League Baseball. Your schedule looks like this. First off, in the National League tonight, the Cubs in Pittsburgh, Milwaukee at Cincinnati. Philadelphia continues their series in New York against the Mets. They start a series tonight. Nope. They continue their series, Philadelphia and the Mets. Washington at Miami. Texas at Atlanta. Toronto on the mound for the Bravos tonight. San Francisco, Colorado. Arizona against L.A. And the Cardinals will be in San Diego on the left coast to battle San Diego. In the American League, CC Sabathia and the Yankees in Baltimore. Kansas City at Detroit. Minnesota at Tampa Bay. Toronto at Boston. Texas and Atlanta. And also tonight, Cleveland at Chicago. The Angels at Oakland. Houston will be in Seattle to battle and Justin Verlander will be on the hill for the first time for the Astros tonight in Seattle against the Mariners after being traded from Detroit. Quick break. We'll be right back. Got more for you. We're live here at Cherokee Barbershop, again, the home of the Gator Man. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this as we're at show number 586 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, right here, live from Cherokee Barbershop.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
I'm Tom Taylor, and you are
Dave Angie.
And we got coming up, it's a really cool, every Thursday, it's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Get you ready for high school and college football every week. Every Thursday, you're going to be covering what for us?
Be looking at the Big East Conference.
Ooh, that would be Dobbinsville, Science Hill, all those great football teams in that conference. Doug Fritz will be giving you the rest of the high school football picture every week. Then we got colleges covered. Who are we going to be covering?
We got ETSU. We have Tennessee. We have Virginia Tech.
All those. Carmichael's will be along to give us the big 5 games every week because it is a 5-star football preview show. So hope you'll join us every Thursday right here in the showroom of Champion Chevrolet. Dave and I will be co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview. And then on top of all that, we're going to have a picking panel where you're going to match us against you and you against us, and I can't wait because they don't have a chance. You're going to go up against us. We're going to pick against you for some really cool prizes, and they don't have a chance, do they?
No chance at all. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, yeah. Putting toe to what?
Toe to the leather, man.
Toe to the leather,
Ready
man.
to go.
Ready to go. Can't wait. Again, join us every Thursday right here. It's a Maiden Voyage Cool Show, co-hosted by Dave Angie and myself. It's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview coming up every Thursday right here from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Can't wait to see you on the show.
Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Summer Drive to unbelievable savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. With a selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from, don't miss out on the Chevy Summer Drive sale. 17 Silverado Crew Cab 1LT, $11,000 off MSRP. 17 Equinox Traction Traverse, $5,000 off MSRP. 17 Cruisin' Sonic, 25% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings. Everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Dillard Sports Show for a couple more minutes. Let's run down a couple of birthdays. First, let's tell you happy birthday going out to a funny guy, Bob Newhart, having a birthday today. He's 88 years old. And also a young lady that has adorned many a locker, I guess, or a wall back in the day. Raquel Welch having a birthday today. Raquel, that guy, you've been cutting that guy's hair. He looks like, that's... He's got a lot of hair. I keep looking, yeah, goodness gracious, he's got thick hair. This young man likes Dale Jr. He's about to become a William Byron fan, which is good. As, yeah, you're worldwide. What we ought to do is turn the camera around and show him getting his hair. Well, we can do that. Let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and watch Gator in action here for just a second. Let's go ahead and turn this around and let... There. So there's the wide shot of the Gator on this wall over here. Tell me what's on that wall. You can do a little tour as you're talking. Over on that wall is. Okay. There you go. And there you go. They've because they haven't had football since 1950. Gator has walked into that one. So now up here on this wall, you got all the golf balls, right? Yeah. Give me the hours are open while you're just snipping away. Since you can't come over here because you're working, I'm gonna take it to you. So you are working every day, Tuesday through Saturday. What are the hours?
8:30 to 5.
Good.
And Saturday 8:30 to 12.
Good. Closed on Sunday and Monday. Did you go to the Buck game?
I did.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
All right.
I sat in the rain with 9,530 other people, 29 other people.
There you go. Did you go to the concession stand?
We did.
Yes. I somehow knew that. And what did you get? Boy, you know you're grasping for straws on the show. We're asking Gator what he had at the concession stand.
A cheese slice of pizza and a bag of popcorn.
And what did you get?
I got a pepperoni slice of pizza.
Did you just sling the pepperonis off, or did you go and eat them? And you suffered in silence. You just went and ate them? Yeah, there you go. And did you rate your experience? Tell me about the stadium. I wasn't there, so what do you think of the stadium?
The stadium was awesome.
Okay.
Great atmosphere for football.
Right.
Concession stands that need to work on.
I get
A little slow.
a little shaky.
They were having problems with the registers.
Okay.
That first game, that's so
Well, if you had problems with the register, did you pay for your food? I guess would be the. Somehow I knew that too. Well, let me rephrase. Did somebody pay for your food? Okay, that's good. I don't really want the authorities over here today before the show, so somebody paid for your food, but it wasn't you. Okay. So the register's a little slow in the old concession stand.
the best part of it, other than the
Was the concession? Oh, really?
the student section started singing,
Oh, really?
and then the whole stadium started singing. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now. It was fantastic. It was very moving.
Wasn't anybody kneeling either, was there? Nah.
I did see one person sitting down beside me
Yeah.
in the next section.
Did you grab him, jerk him up, tell him stand up for the greatest country in the world, jerk him up out of there? Yeah. Good for them. That's what they should have done. So, all right, what is this young man's name who's been on TV now around the world? Hey, Zach. Zach's excited to be here. I can see that. Yeah, it's written all over his face. Let's go on and swing her back around here. And, yeah. And an empty chair. Oh, it's never a dull moment. Get her. You got a paper towel? I'll give her a pen. She can sign something with a cellular sign. So that's good. Anyway, happy birthday to Bob Newhart, funny guy, 88 today, and Raquel Welch having a birthday. She's 77, and Michael Keaton's having a birthday today too, 66. And oh, by the way, the countdown to Christmas, which I love, we're down to 110 days to Christmas, so it's going to be here before you know it. All right, let's take a look. We were talking about the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. They have a rather daunting task coming up this weekend. They will go from whipping up on an outmanned Limestone team that gave them all they wanted, but obviously was not the same as they're getting ready to go play the James Madison Dukes, the preseason #1 team in the country this week. The Dukes winning streak of 13 games, the longest in the country, receiving 25 out of 26 first-place votes in the coaches' national poll on Monday. The 5th time the Bucs have played the #1 team in the country. The first time they've done it since they played Georgia Southern back in 2001. So Coach Torbush understands the importance of this game, and they'll be at James Madison, 6 o'clock kickoff in Harrisonburg, Virginia, coming up on Saturday. Cool place to call a game. Been up there calling one before, and they got a railroad track. I used to have a railroad track in behind one end zone, and it's pretty cool because when we were up there, they were kicking. There was an empty coal car on the train that went in behind the goalpost, one end of the stadium, and so the kickers, for kicks, no pun intended, were trying to kick the football into the empty coal car during the pregame. And we went up there when I was doing the Bucks on the radio and got our ears pinned back in the 80s. We got whipped pretty good. So they are a very, very good football team. Be a good test and good challenge for the Bucks after the big win at Limestone College on Saturday, a game in which Gator got the wrong pizza, but still had a good time, and somebody else paid for it, so it didn't really matter. So there you go. Appalachian League. You what? That's exactly right. Appalachian League playoffs coming up tonight. You've got Greenville and Elizabeth taking on the Twins. Series is tied 1 apiece in the best of 3. And so tonight you've got the Greenville Astros and Elizabeth in battle the Twins. 7 o'clock first pitch again at O'Brien Field for the Appalachian League Baseball Championship. And a series, again, as we said, is tied at 1 game apiece. Excuse me, before we get out of here, just run down one more time high school football. Big, big night of high school football coming up Friday night. None bigger than Elizabethton, where, again, the 6th-ranked Cyclones will take on, out of 4A football, the 5th-ranked Daniel Boone Trailblazers in 5A football. The other big game on Friday night, 5th-ranked team in the state, Science Hill, they owned Dobbins Minute with that big win. It's 6 in a row, I think, now. Stacy Carter's beaten Graham Clark 6 straight, if I'm not mistaken, and so Hilltopper fans are saying we own them. Yeah, I guess you can say that after winning 6 in a row. It's pretty strong. But Hilltoppers now move right back into another tough game. Number 5 in the state in 6A football, hosting the #1 team in the state in 4A football, the Greenville Green Devils, on Friday night. Other games, you've got Avery County, North Carolina, Cloudland, Cherokee at Union County. Chucky Doak will be at Sullivan North. Crockett will be at Knox Gibbs. Dobbins Minute travels to Sevier County Friday night. Hampton will be at Gatlinburg Pittman. Happy Valley at Unicoi County. Jeff County, Knox Carter, Knox Central at Hardin Valley, Maryville at Alcoa. That's always a backyard grudge match down in that part of the East Tennessee area. North Greene and Cosby. Oak Ridge will be in Farragut to battle the Admirals. That'll be a good ball game. Oak Ridge 6th in the state in 5A, and Farragut number 6 in the state in 6A. Non-conference game Friday night at Farragut. Scott will be at Granger. Sullivan Central goes to Johnson County, and Sullivan East will be at Volunteer, and West Greene at South Greene in Tennessee. In Virginia, Hancock County at Rye Cove, Holston at John Battle, J.I. Burton at Lee, Patrick Henry at Eastside on Friday night. Abington Falcons hosting Pulaski County. Ridgeview at Wise Central. Sullivan South will go across the state line to battle at Gate City. Bragging Rights at Bristol Friday night. Tennessee High at Virginia High. Thomas Walker at Castlewood. Twin Springs at Chilhowie. and Union at Letcher Central. And that will be the action for this coming Friday night in Tennessee and Virginia. Soccer tonight. Crockett at Volunteer, Greenville at Tennessee High, Hampton at Unicoi County, Sullivan Central plays soccer at University High, and Sullivan South will be in Gray to play soccer tonight against Daniel Boone. In volleyball, Chucky Doak at Elizabethton tonight, Happy Valley will be at Sullivan North. You have Sullivan South at Sullivan East. You have Unicoi County at Sullivan Central in volleyball tonight in Tennessee. In Virginia, Middlesboro, Kentucky at Thomas Walker, Morristown East at Lee, Rycove at Union, and Twin Springs at Holston. So that's what's going on there. Final break. We'll come right back and close this puppy out right after this. We're live at Cherokee Barbershop right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Summer Drive to unbelievable savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. With a selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from, don't miss out on the Chevy Summer Drive sale. 17 Silverado Crew Cab 1LT, $11,000 off MSRP. 17 Equinox Traction Traverse, $5,000 off MSRP. 17 Cruisin' Sonic, 25% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show to wrap the show up, the bonehead move of the weekend. Subway. How stupid could you be? Subway, which had 1 race left on a 4-race sponsorship with Daniel Suarez, they drop him like a hot potato because old Daniel's out on a golf cart. Bless his heart. It was called Breakfast with Daniel, where he was out passing out Dunkin' Donuts to fans when he was at a race, I believe it was in New Hampshire, which is okay, except that Subway is his sponsor. And Subway's been serving breakfast since 2010. And so, as it says here in the press release, Joe Gibbs Racing confirming that a segment with Daniel Suarez handing out Dunkin' Donuts on a pre-race telecast back in July, was Subway's issue in terminating its deal with Daniel Suarez because Subway serves breakfast. He's out passing out Dunkin' Donuts. Not good, Daniel, buddy. I'm sure somebody's head's rolled over there, the PR person or somebody. I don't know if Daniel did, but well, yeah, Daniel should know that Subway's on his car. You're not out passing out donuts when Subway's paying for it. It's like me coming in here talking about Jim Bob's Barbershop when I'm at Cherokee Barbershop. It just wouldn't go good. Gator would not be happy. No. Or old boy that's sponsored by Pepsi and sucking down a Coke in the post race. That's just not a good thing. So anyway, that's as old boy says, you can't fix stupid. And so there you go. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Going to do it again tomorrow at Chick-fil-A. Show number 586. Thanks to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fan reporter, Daniel Monjay, Chris Lane, Morgan McLeod, and Joe Maxwell from Milligan College. And let's see, who else do we have? I guess the Gator Man from Cherokee Barbershop, although we couldn't get him on because he's been super busy, and that's the way we like it. So, oh yeah, wait a minute. Come right here, Gator. We can here at least get you a little pretty face on the camera. Hang on, we'll change the. No, come over here now. I've already made. Come right over here, Gator. Wave one more time before we go. Just wave, blow a kiss, and say hello to your mama and whatever. I'm going to get out of here so fast. The guy took his finger and wiped his eyebrow. He wiped spit on his eye and wiped his eyebrow. That's my boy Gator. So anyway, tomorrow Chick-fil-A, Thursday Champion Chevrolet. Next Friday this Friday will be at Food City. And so we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Until we greet you tomorrow from Chick-fil-A, we'll tell you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. We're out of here at Cherokee Barbershop in South Johnson City. So long, everybody.